Let's break down one of the most valuable drills in modern soccer training, 4v4 plus 3 neutrals. This setup can improve ball retention, support angles, pressing coordination, and much more. We'll walk through the base setup and show 4 powerful variations you can use with your players. As we talk through them, you might notice that there are other variations you can make to coach exactly what you need. For example, you can coach third man run or overlapping runs or how to switch from side to side and so on. Don't forget that the drills give you structure, but you still do the coaching. The base drill is very simple. It's a standard possession drill with overload 7v4, except that the neutrals keep switching sides to support the team in possession. This makes it better than regular 7v4 because the team that just gained possession will try to transition to keep possession. A big problem in soccer drills is that when they're super controlled and they don't allow for natural transitions. That reflects in games when a player stops as soon as they lose possession, even though the best thing to do is to press their opponent. Similarly, once they win possession, they stop and think what to do with the ball. The smart thing is to know where the free teammates are and pass them the ball right away. Let's make that easier with a variation of the drill. The first variation is for the neutrals to be placed on the outside of the square. They're not free to be unopposed and unchallenged, but they keep the shape of the drill by being on the outside in support functions. The central area becomes a 4v4. The idea of making something easier for players, such as having safe space on the outside with overall numerical advantage, is called scaffolding. We solve one problem for the players so they can focus on mastering other problems and eventually bring back the problem back to focus only that one once we answer the other questions. If the first variation supported mostly usage of help from the outside, then this next variation will try to create problems to be solved in tight areas. Firstly, we will tighten the area so that the time of reactions will be smaller. Then we will add one of the neutral players in the middle, making it a 5v4 with the two neutrals on each side of the box. The numerical advantage is still there, 7v4, but the requirement here will be to quickly find the moving free player. Earlier, the free players were on the outside, but here that might not be the case. It will be much more dynamic and challenging for the players to find ways to break the lines, create third man runs, and invite pressure, or even create la pausa if needed. Some coaches refer to this drill as find the 10, suggesting that the neutral floater is the 10 that can play that killer pass. The traditional 10s are less common these days, and we expect everybody to pass the ball well. However, the idea that the team together needs to find that free player is the core of this variation. As you might know by now, I don't like drills with no direction. It is great for parents to see the player pass the ball to each other over and over again, asserting dominance of some sort, even if they're losing the game or the result is 0-0. However, that is not the objective of soccer. You want the players to firstly attempt to score, then to keep possession until they create an opportunity to score. For this, I suggest setting goals on each side of the box. That can be gates to dribble through if you prefer. If things get too easy for the team in possession, you can restrict for the neutrals not to be allowed to score. This rule will give roles to the players. The neutrals will understand the need to play the support role, mostly in the center of the field, while the other players try to score. I'm also not a big fan of drills with neutrals because you don't see neutrals in real game. Well, except maybe the referee who are not allowed to touch the ball. However, since you already have a setup with neutrals, you can turn that into your benefit to make fun drills out of that parameter. My favorite variation of this drill is when I declare that the objective is not to just connect X number of passes, but to connect X number of passes with neutrals, or even better, connect a pass with each neutral. This means that at the beginning the game is 7v4, but over time the passes to the neutrals will carry more weight. This means that the neutrals will be defended more tightly, even when they don't have the ball. In real games, the strikers and the wingers are often guarded with several defenders on them, while the more defensive players have much less pressure. This means that the strikers and the wingers need to do a lot more off-ball movement to get the ball. So we make the variation so that it reflects the real game a little bit more. So how do you make your own variations? As I said at the beginning, these drills give you framework, but you need to do the coaching. Don't be afraid to modify the rules, restrictions, and constraints to get the best framework for the coaching you want to do. Given that we already decided that the setup is 4v4 plus 3 neutrals, these are three major other parameters to play with, except for the number of players. Firstly, play with space. More space means more time for the team in possession. Less space means less time and less running on the team that presses. However, you can also make the field narrow if you want, attacking on the wings, for example. Smart players will exploit this and see how they can adapt to it. Second option is to limit to one-touch or two-touch games. This is a very famous constraint by coaches to speed up the game and improve first touch. You want your players to look for options and solutions before they get the ball. A one-touch restrictions will definitely force this on them. But even two-touch restrictions can. The first touch is to get out of tight space, and the second touch is the pass. The third option for playing with parameters is redefining the objective of the game. The overall objective of soccer is to score a goal and not concede a goal. But within the context, the objective might be to progress the ball further, or switch sides, or simply retain possession. It is up to you to define the objective of the game within that drill, so that you can coach what you want to coach at that session. So 4v4 plus 3 is more than just a passing drill. It's a dynamic system for building game intelligence. With small tweaks, you can target possession, pressing, or attacking play. Try this variation with your team and let me know how they go. And thank you for watching.